Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Jaxon Show. I'm your host, Jaxon, and today we're going to be talking about Super Bowl 59. Let's see if it lived up to the hype, see if it didn't. Plus, we got some college basketball games, college basketball weekend recaps. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so Super Bowl 59 might have been one of the most hyped games of all time. The Kansas City Chiefs going for the first ever three-peat in NFL history. The Philadelphia Eagles, the only team that stood in their way. This game, first we'll get to the game in a minute, but first we got to talk about all the other appeals, things that appeal to the Super Bowl, like the commercials and the halftime show. And so first I want to address the commercials. Not a lot of good commercials. I feel like a lot of the commercials were either funny commercials or they were bad commercials. Some were really funny commercials. Other ones I didn't really like. My favorite one was the Jalen Hurts commercial at the end of the Super Bowl. I think it was a Nike ad, Nike Jordan, something like that. But basically, before he won Super Bowl MVP, they put on an ad where Jalen Hurts was basically everything you said about Jalen Hurts, he just proved you wrong in the biggest game of his career. So there's that, and he did prove a ton of haters wrong. But next, we got the halftime show, and I rewatched the halftime show today. I just want to say, wow. I mean, honestly, Kendrick Lamar, he really put it on. You know, it was a really good halftime show. I love it. It might be one of my favorite halftime show ever. I would go with this halftime show, the Dr. Dre halftime show. I'd go after that. It'd be The Weeknd, Usher, Rihanna. That's my tier list right there. If you agree with me, that's cool. If you don't agree with me, don't agree with me. I feel like a lot of people are gonna put Usher above The Weeknd, but I think the Weeknd one was just nostalgic for me. I liked it. So finally, the game, Super Bowl 59, Eagles-Chiefs. Final score, Philadelphia Eagles 40, Kansas City Chiefs 22. This game was definitely more of a blowout than it was close. Primary reason was because of the what's it called? The front four of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles defensive line. Patrick Mahomes had 6 sacks for 31 total yards, 2 interceptions, 1 return for a pick six, Cooper DeJean. But the Eagles, scary team up here. They hit the quarterback a ton. They got in the backfield a ton. Josh Sweat might have been a candidate for Super Bowl MVP if Jalen Hurts hadn't played so well. So, I mean, yeah, man. Eagles front four caused Mahomes a lot of trouble. But the thing is, the defensive line was the problem for the Chiefs in the 2020 Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, remember, this was the Super Bowl. It was, I think, Tom Brady's 7th Super Bowl that he won. The reason why this posed such an issue for the Chiefs is that they weren't missing a lot of offensive linemen, but they missed some offensive linemen, and they were missing some offensive linemen, and so the pressure, Tampa Bay got to them, and 31-9 the final score of that game. Mahomes basically performed the same like he did in this game. 2 interceptions, got sacked a lot, was running, scrambling a ton. So, I mean, basically this is the formula for when you want to beat the Chiefs. Put a lot of pressure on Mahomes. That's what you do. You put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, force him to kind of move around in the pocket, make a move, make a play. Really, that's what you do when you're playing the Chiefs. Now, Eagles offensively Run game wasn't very good, only 135 yards on the ground and 45 total attempts. The passing game was really where it was at. Jalen Hurts was 17 for 22. He threw for 221 yards, average of 10 yards per pass. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, took 2 sacks, and had a QBR of 75.4. Devontae Smith led the Philadelphia Eagles in receiving with 4 catches and 69 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown had 3 catches, 43 yards and a touchdown, and was reading a book on the sideline. Eagles offense, I think Saquon Barkley was a very big focal point in the Eagles offense throughout the season. He's the biggest reason of why the Eagles were in that spot where they were. It was because of Saquon. But now that the Saquon was taken out of the equation, now we see the more pass-heavy Eagles side, where it's like, oh, you want to take away Saquon? Okay, we can still throw the football. So, didn't like the commercials very much. Loved the halftime show. This game, big time blowout. 2, I think, garbage time touchdowns for Kansas City. But yeah, that's the Super Bowl 59 for you. Also forgot to mention, Super Bowl 59 was the most viewed Super Bowl. Seems like a lot of people had a Kansas City Chiefs hate watch. But moving on, a lot of people have asked me, well, what are you going to do with your podcast now that the NFL is over? Well, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a transition. Really, it's going to be a transition into baseball. Baseball starts, I think, end of March. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking a little bit of college hoops, maybe throwing a little bit of NBA in there. And so that's where this show is going to go, plus a couple interviews lined up. So there's that. But yeah, starting with the college hoops recap. Florida upsets number 1 Auburn on the road. This game, take a look at it. I didn't expect this at all. Honestly, it's a big time shock to me. Well, Will Clayton led the Gators in Walter Clayton led the Gators in points with 19. He played all 40 minutes for the Gators. Miles Kelly led the Tigers in points with 22. This was the Auburn Tigers' second loss of the season. They were 9-1 in the conference play, and they take on number 2 Alabama. Actually, they're playing right now. Current score, just so you know where I'm at. 6:11 to go in the first, 29-21. That's how late I'm recording this game, or recording this episode. But it's all for you. It's all for the fans. Auburn, honestly, they're a really good basketball team, well-rounded basketball team. They shoot the 3 well, but this game, they didn't shoot the 3 well. 7 for 22 from the 3-point line. The Gators 13 for 33. So Florida had a 39.4% free throw or 3-point percentage, and the Auburn had 31.8. It's not how you win basketball games. As a matter of fact, the Gators were 48.4% from the field in total. Auburn 42.9%. I don't have much to say about the SEC. It's a great conference. I love watching the SEC during football season, but now during basketball season, there are a lot of good teams in the SEC. Tennessee, Florida, Auburn, Alabama. The list goes on. Kentucky. I didn't even mention Kentucky. But the thing I'll say about this, never would have seen this coming in a million years. So surprised that this actually happened. Moving on to the next game we're going to talk about. Duke. Clemson. Clemson won this game on a Cooper flag. He slipped on this play. Like, he fell down. And he got called for a travel, and that's how they lost the game. It's 71-73. Game is close. He falls down. He finished the game with 18 points. Right? For Duke, leading scorer was Tyrese Proctor with 23. Victor Lakin led the the Clemson Tigers with 22 points. What to say about this game? Honestly, I thought Duke would fall off a little bit more. I don't know if Clemson's in the NCAA tournament yet, but they deserve to be. They've been playing really well this season, although I haven't watched a lot of college basketball. I know Clemson has done some good things, and so, Clemson's a good team. I would love to watch them in the big dance. They got far last year, so, man, they're going to be a scary team, tough team to beat. Next game, Michigan, Indiana. The spread for this game was 3.5. Michigan wins 70-67. We talk about the turnovers for Michigan. 12 total turnovers. I watched the back end of this game. I think final 5 minutes I was tuned in. What do I say about this game? Michigan almost lost this game. It came so close, and it cut off at the biggest point in the game. But yeah, I mean, man, this was a closer game than it should have been. Malik Renault led the Hoosiers with 16 points. Danny Wolf led Michigan with 20 points. Vladislav Golden had 18 points, and Trey Goldston had 18 points. So those two players, those 3 players for Michigan really carried a heavy load. But they all led the team in turnovers. Danny Wolf having 2, Golden having 3, and Donaldson having 3 turnovers. Michigan, they're a very good basketball team. They play State on the I think it's the 21st. Yes, it is. They play State on the 21st. Then again on March 9th. That is going to be a game I'm going to tune into. That is going to be a game that I will tune into. This Michigan basketball team is very good, very talented, very skilled. I like the direction that Dusty May has this team going. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That was my thoughts on the Super Bowl. College basketball. So excited. Once again, wanted to thank you for listening. I enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to tune into the next episode of the Jaxon Show, and always bring a friend.